Hi, this is Joe Eber. I'd like to talk to you in this video about the relationship between the elbow and the shoulder. Since we all started studying Tai Chi, we've always been told, shoulders down. But very rarely are we told about what's happening inside the shoulder. When we do this, we recognize very easily that we're tense. And we don't want to do this because it creates all kinds of problems within our body. Breathing, rooting, connections, and so on. But what happens when you tighten your shoulder? Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now, it's very easy to recognize when your shoulders are up, but not so much when it's inside your shoulder. But if you raise your arm to a certain height, let's say chest high, okay, put your hand on your shoulder. Now, raise your elbow a little bit higher. Feel the tension within your shoulder. Feel how it's balling up, how the muscles are tightening. Now lower your elbow again. Feel your shoulder. Is it more loose? Are the muscles longer, smoother? Raise it up again. Feel the tension. Feel how the shoulder begins to tighten up. Okay. Now you may say, okay, so my shoulder tightens up. So what? Good. Do this again slowly, but this time, as you raise your elbow up, notice your chest, notice your ribs, okay? If you relax and do this again, you'll notice that your ribs move up with your shoulders, especially when you use both hands. You'll really feel it, how your ribs move up. Well, what happens when your ribs move up? Well, pay attention to your breathing. You'll notice that as your elbows reach a certain point, you start breathing with your upper chest. Whereas when your elbows go lower, you start breathing with your abdomen. And we want to breathe with our abdomen, not our chest. So try it again. Notice the difference. Here, I breathe with my chest. I breathe with my abdomen. Okay. Notice your center of gravity. When your elbows move up and your chest moves higher, your center of gravity moves up. When your center of gravity moves up, your rooting also changes, moves up. So when my elbows are here, I feel my feet rooting into the floor. I feel my weight going down into my feet and my feet going into the floor. But as soon as I start to lift my elbows a little too high, I can feel my rooting moving up to the point where I'm on the surface of the floor, not in the floor. Why? Because everything is going up. When you lift your shoulders, or when your shoulders get tight, everything moves up, okay, as opposed to moving down. Okay, another important point to pay attention to is your Ming Men. Ming Men is your lower back area, okay? What you want to feel is a connection between your hands, your arms, to your lower back. So imagine if someone is pushing on your fingers or your hands, okay, and you basically push them back with your lower back, with your Ming Men. But as soon as I raise my shoulders or my elbows above my shoulders, that connection is gone. If someone is pushing on me, the push gets stuck in my shoulders. It never reaches my lower back. And if it doesn't reach my lower back, it never reaches my feet to go into the ground. Okay. So by raising my arm too high, that push gets stuck. It never reaches the Ming Men. So you always want to have a connection between your arms and your Ming Men. Okay. But by lifting too high, you're cutting off that connection. So the relationship between the height of the elbow to the shoulder is very important. And yet you'll see it, how it's done wrong many, many different times. You'll see people do the opening posture in Yang style and many other styles as well, where they go up, 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 and then they go, well, too late. This is already compromised. This is already tightened up. You've already lost your connection to your Ming Men. Okay? you're already changed your rooting and so on, and your breathing. Okay? Wrong. Right. Okay, this is too high. You can easily see, easily pushed back. You also don't have any power going up once you go past a certain point. Here I have power going up. Here I have no power. It's all in my shoulders, and I have to use my muscles in order to lift. Okay, let's take a look at Fair Lady works at the shuttles. As you can see, shoulder is compromised. It's tight. Someone were to press on me, I'd have to go back. Whereas here, I can withstand, let the power go into my feet, let the force go into my feet, okay? So, and you'll see this very common. People do this. No, as soon as someone presses on you, you can't stop them. Here you can, okay? Another example, white crane spreads wings. You'll see this very common, very often. Notice the shoulder. No, you can visually see it from here to here. Here, the force is stuck. I can't do anything. Here, I can move the force. I can push it back. I can do a lot of different things. This, I'm compromised. Okay, it's too high. Now, let me be clear. I use Yang style as an example because I studied Yang style for 10 years, and Yang style is a very calm and popular style. What I'm saying is not about the style. What I'm saying is about how people do the style wrong, okay? And it's not about doing the style right, doing the style wrong. It's about what works, okay? Everything I talk about, you can test for yourself. You can try it out for yourself. You can see it. It's not because a teacher says to do it this way. The book says to do it this way. The video says to do it this way. Test it. Check it for yourself, okay? That's important. You need to find out for yourself. Is this right? Is this right? What's the difference? It's a big difference. Some people say, well, you're only raising your arm by an inch, quarter inch, whatever. Big difference. Okay, can it reach the floor, the power? Is it stuck in my shoulder? Is there tension in my shoulder? All these questions, and you can answer them yourself. Okay, so the impact of having the elbow higher than the shoulder is significant. It's your breathing, it's your chest moving up and down, it's your rooting, it's your connection to your Ming Men, okay? But the elbow height is not the only time that the shoulder gets compromised. When I first learned Yang style, I learned Ward-off this way, okay? Where the arm is parallel to the floor and the elbow is pointing out. This never worked for me, and I couldn't figure out why. Every time I would get pushed, I'd have to struggle and use my shoulder, and usually I'd get pushed back. Eventually I figured out, see, drop the elbow. As soon as I drop the elbow, now I can connect all the way down to my feet. And you can try this. This is very easy to feel. Put your elbow out with the arm parallel to the floor and have somebody push you. Where does their force, or you can push yourself. You'll feel it get stuck in your shoulder. Now drop your elbow down. Now it goes down through my shoulder into my feet. Okay? Another example is press, where people put their arms in this position. Now notice, if the elbows are high or pointing outward, notice how the shoulders bunch up. And if you push against the elbows, it gets stuck in the shoulders. But if you drop your elbow slightly, now your shoulders are smooth, relaxed. Now the force can go into your back. So dropping the elbows is very, very important. So to recap, where your elbows are in relation to your shoulders and how you put your elbow forward determines what happens inside your shoulder, whether it compresses, bunches up, tenses up, which then changes how you breathe, changes where your ribs go, changes where your center of gravity goes, changes where your rooting goes, and how you connect to your Ming Men. So how much force is actually coming through your body into your arm or from your arm. So all of these things are important when it comes to doing your Tai Chi form. So hopefully you learned something from this video. I'd be interested in your comments. Okay. And looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.